What's up, Kerbonauts? Well, I want to know if I can build this rocket in Kerbal Space Program. This is the Artemis rocket, and it just rolled out to the launch pad at Kennedy Space Center. I'm gonna be using no mods on KSP, so let's try our best. Of course, I'm gonna start with the MK3 command pod, although it takes 3 Kerbals, not 4 like Orion. It's the most similar capsule we have. We're gonna need the heat shield so that the astronauts, and in this case the Kerbonauts, can return safely to Earth. Another thing we're gonna add is the launch escape system, and that's to save the crew in case of emergencies. And I don't usually use these, I just let them I let my crew just die. The SLS, of course, is going to need the ability to communicate with Earth, so we're gonna add a couple antennas, and they're not visibly shown on the outside, so we're just gonna use the move tool and hide it from visibility. Batteries will also be inside. So this is a picture. This is Orion capsule with the service module, so we're gonna try to recreate that. So let's add a service module next. In the case for Kerbals, we're gonna use a RCS fuel tank as the service module, the puff engines to simulate the thrusters here. I also want there to be reaction wheels, and I also want them hidden from view, the radial attachment point, and then with the move it tool I'm gonna hide it because I don't want it to be visible. The service module also has the solar panels. These are kind of big, but are actually pretty accurate. I'm gonna change this actually. Now that I'm seeing the service module on pictures, I'm just gonna do a docking port. I think it looks more realistic. And let me bring these back a little bit. That's good. The rest of the SLS rocket involves the interim cryogenic propulsion stage. So for that, we're gonna use a bunch of fuel tanks. So this is gonna be the fuel tank we use for the interim cryogenic propulsion stage, with the engine that looks the most like this. It could be the Kodiak. I think that'll do. It's smaller, but it looks kind of like it. Let me see if I can add another fuel tank to the bottom here. Okay, maybe we can make it a little bit like that. That kind of looks like it, I guess. That's good enough, possibly. Now for the rest of the rocket, I'm gonna add a big decoupler about this big, and the big orange tank that kind of looks like it. So in order to cover up the ICPS, I like to use the protective shells. These are really useful. So we do this really tight fit around the ICPS. There we go. That kind of looks like the upper part of the SLS. I don't know. My favorite part of the SLS now, the giant orange tank, which gives us all the nostalgia from the space shuttle era. I think we need to make it as big as possible, and it has to be orange. So these are the biggest orange tanks we have, and I really care about keeping the color orange. And I think we're gonna use the Mammoth liquid fuel engines at the bottom. Now we have a sort of SLS. It just looks the Timu version. So now the boosters are really tightly attached to the big tanks, and I think we should use the biggest boosters that we can, which are the Clydesdales boosters. Now let's adjust it a little bit. Let's move it around. It's technically overlapping, but I think that might be good enough. And they use the triangular nose cones. And there you have it, guys. This is the version of the Space Launch System for the Kerbals. It has more than enough Delta V to get out. Space Launch System, Artemis. If you want to see me launch it, watch the next video.